And looking at the hunters and their conditions, so Smoke has glass splinters and agitated, and has been away from us for a full cycle so far. So we'll see if they mention like where they've been, or like they don't have to, and we just keep moving on. And then Eligos has fond memories as a condition. Lord
Oh, right.
Oda. Lord Oda has most beloved and watched, which he keeps refusing to get rid of, even though he can. And then, Mildred, you have battered and bruised. All right, so we've got everybody's got at least one condition. What that means is you guys can line up for a vulnerable move with each other, and you got all four, yay! So however you guys want to do that, just remember that for framing up a vulnerable move, whomever's vice it is, that person would clear condition as well as the other hunter. But the one whose vice it is would be able to get a bonus, which is either creating a clue for one of the threats at hand that's active, or inviting the other hunter to ask them a question about their past. Okay? So kind of think about it while I go over the threats. So currently we have open the West End Wraith. We answered the question, is Lily DeVere or Billy Bowman the target of the Wraith's obsession, and does the Wraith seek to help or harm them? I think we've targeted that it's going to be Lily DeVere, and the Wraith wants to harm them. I want to clarify a little bit later. It's like exactly what that answer to that question was, because then that leads to the resolution question of, if the Wraith seeks to harm, what motivates their obsessive pursuit of the target? Okay, because we got to clarify
I
that.
have some theories.
Okay. Well, right now we have 3 clues for a complexity 4 question. So you guys are able to do a little bit more investigating on that, and then you can answer a question around Dusk Phase. Okay, for that. And then Limehouse Lurker, new mystery as of last time, but you guys really, really got through all the clues, I think. Excuse me. So there's 7 clues on a complexity 4 question. The threshold question is the vampire young or old? All right, so again, complexity 4, and 7 clues up on the docket. And then we have today the introduction of a new threat. Let me pull that on the board. So this is called the Drowned Guardian of the Docks. All right. Trouble is brewing along the London docks. It's been months since the tragedy of the Dawn Herald, in which dozens of unskilled dockhands, most of them immigrants, were killed in a collision that sank the merchant vessel. The wreckage and bodies have long since been recovered. The families paid a grievance, those that could be found, and the whole affair largely blamed on foreign incompetence. But much as some investors would like a swift return to normalcy, the rumblings of angry workers over dangerous conditions and abysmal pay are only made worse by a series of strange occurrences which threaten to disrupt the already precarious order of dockside operations. A number of the drowned workers seem to have miraculously returned, each with tales of a guardian spirit who brought them back from the depths. The boatswain of the Princess Alice, the vessel said to bear some responsibility for the accident, was found mangled and impaled with splintered timbers of the Dawn Herald. Tales circulate of a nightmare lurking along the docks, a sea monster that swam inland through the Thames, or some vengeful spirit summoned through ritual sacrifices. It is this which most concerns the hunters. Nim Granby, a self-taught demonologist and friend of Hargrave House, believes that these events are linked to a powerful sea demon. Whether summoned intentionally or drawn to the echoes of recent tragedy, they believe that this entity has gained power from the sacrifice of drowned workers and valuable goods cast into the depths. Okay, so let's see. Moss-covered gate, which I can never remember which one that is. Moss-covered gate. Does anybody have it marked?
I think Oda's the only one who has it marked.
Yeah, that's true. It's like he's the only one that has a lot of future marked. Dang it. Okay. So, Lord Oda How do you know that some dock workers have made a pact with the Guardian, offering it sacrifices for their protection?
Yeah. So the way that I know they have made a pact with the demon itself,
I mean,
um,
the
is
threshold question is like whether it's a demon or a guardian spirit.
mhm.
So,
Oh, with the being the entity itself.
correct.
I would say that they have, um, whether they know it or not, they like they start a very slow. Um, I this so I'm just gonna put something out there, and you can edit it or change it. But I'm thinking like there's like aspects of fish that they're slowly turning into, right? Like some of them like almost have like the people who've like really made sacrifices a real pact, like they have like a briny smell. It's almost reminiscent of, our good friend, the creature of Quemorn Gardens.
Mm.
Um, but it's like real, and it's like they starting to like sprout. Almost, have you ever seen the movie The 13th Year? It's a Disney Channel movie about a boy who transforms into a mermaid over the course of a summer, and it's horrifying. And it's like there's this they just slowly start to change in subtle ways, like gills starting to appear, like webs between fingers, like an extra eyelid, right? um like barfing up like seawater, things like this. It's they are cursed as they do this.
All right.
um
Well, given these signs, we can decide for the threshold question of this threat: is the entity a demon or a helpful guardian spirit? And this question, this threshold question, is a complexity of 2. Answering that question will unlock the next opportunity. Okay? All right. And for this one, just so you know, the threat mask associated with this is called the Mask of the Depths. And given that, just so you guys know, for right now, the threat masks that are on the table still are the Mask of Comedy, the Mask of Tragedy, both which are associated with the West End Wraith while it's still active. And then for the Limehouse Lurker, it's Mask of the Sun. And then for this last newly introduced threat, it's Mask of the Depths. Okay? So, question or answer?
I have a idea for the Limehouse Lurker of whether it's young or old.
Okay. All right. Do you want to try to answer some questions right now? Or did you want to wait until Dusk
I,
Phase?
I'm fine with waiting, but if anyone wanted to uh get that out of the way so that you can like have an idea of how you want to push that
Yeah, I'm down.
threat
I mean, I'm down
into
to start the game off if we want to answer the question and then head
Sure.
into vulnerable moves and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, great. So let's go ahead and look at the clues that you have so far. A Bible. The pages of telling the story of Noah and the ark have been ripped out. A child-sized husk of shedded skin. A wooden toy Viking ship lost or discarded. A pool of half-coagulated blood in a dark subterranean place. Linen cloths with depiction of solar system. An alleyway that has been blocked by a wagon with wheels depicting the sun. And a drunkard claims a small childlike voice from the shadows has been castigating them for their excessive drinking. So those are your 7 clues to pick from to come up with a theory to meet complexity at least 4. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the vampire
You had-
young or old?
So
You got
here's
an
my
idea, Ben?
thought. Yeah. I think that the vampire is old.
Mm.
Last week I was really hankering for a child, but like just looking at the clues, I think it points to old, and it's gonna be this is a kind of weird one. So I'm going through it with like the Bible, the taking out of the Noah story as a main one. And the reason is in the Noah story, there's an apocalypse, right? The earth is filled with water, and the main character is like gathering animals to repopulate the earth to survive upon. And then we have another and you know, then we have a number of like, so that like surviving on a ship, that's kind of like this saving kind of quality, right? This kind of collecting and then, you know, creating a place to be safe upon, to disembark with is echoed in the Viking ship. There's a lot of references toward the sun and the solar system, whether it's the linen cloths with the solar system or the wheels depicting the sun. I think that the vampire is old, and that it's not quite the same as a vampire we think of it, like Origins. I think it's like an extraterrestrial being of some sort that wants to collect humans to like preserve them as a food source. So like whether the aliens have, like, these vampires have lost their original home planet and feed upon humans as parasites here on Earth. In any way, like what this vampire's goal is and why it's old is because it's collecting people to create, you know, like how they have those seeds, that seed storage in Iceland.
The vault.
Yeah, the vault. It's doing that with all sorts of human children, and England is a great place to do that because it's all sorts of people in the world are here. And I'm just like pulled to the Noah story because there's so much text. Like text that's like really calling to me is like, for example, whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed, right? Or here's a line: the fear and dread of you will fall on all the beasts of the earth. And right, and so I don't think that's about humans. I think that's about the vampire, right? Like that God in this
That's
text
one heck of a pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into this.
Okay, so hold on.
I was just gonna say that if it's his wagon, then he's probably rich, which means he's probably old.
Yeah, and specifically, as long as the earth endures, and then it's like, quote, seed time, right? And then it goes on to harvest, and the seasons will never cease, right? So seed time being the seeds of the humans for the vampire. And
hold
so
some
I
of
think
these
they're
hold some of these ideas if you guys like them, because it's like, again, all we're doing is answering like young or old.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
we're using the Bible. Okay, the Bible pages ripped out.
Bible, definitely.
Okay, we're using
I think the carriage, the wagon.
Okay.
And I would say probably if I had to pick another one, the wooden toy Viking ship.
Okay.
Because it seems too old. Like, why would that be a toy in Britain? Like, wouldn't it be like at earliest a Spanish galleon?
And then again, complexity 4, so you'd need at least one more clue.
I'm gonna riff off of the idea. I'm ripping off more of the biblical stuff that I am the
maths.
Yeah.
We don't need another clue, right? You need half the complexity to roll. You just roll with a negative.
Yeah, but even with a plus, you guys like hate negatives. So I mean, it just makes sense.
Only because they hurt us so much.
The solar system has a what is it called? Yeah. This might help to answer the next question though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to use all of them right now.
You just have to use at least 2, if not 4.
I don't know. I like where this is going. I think all 3 of these would work. If I was going to pick a 4th one, though, I think I would pick the drunkard's claim of the small childlike voice. I think, and this may not align with the whole extra-dimensional being theory, but I think
anything can align with the extra-dimensional being theory.
Anything Yeah, but what I mean is, just this is more of a riff on the biblical stuff. But I would think that this person is somewhat familiar with sin in the Bible and all that in Scripture. So I think that they are aged enough to have an understanding of Scripture. Therefore, they use opportunities to chastise lower beings for their common mortal sins. And so I think that he's using, or they're using their age as sort of a way to sort of sadistically toy with the people of Limehouse. And one of those ways, one of those ways is obviously feeding on them, but another way is to, chastise them for their sins.
Okay, I like that. If everybody's okay with that, we can mark that off.
Sure.
All right, now who wants to roll?
Sounds fine.
Ben, it sounds like it would be you because you're the one that came up with most of the theory.
All right, so it's +0, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Straight roll.
Flat roll.
2d6.
Yes.
Roll it.
It is a 6 and a 6. Wow.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
So we are saying old. Very,
Yes,
very
it is old and possibly extra dimensional.
Okay.
Google has never given me boxcars before, so I'm so happy right now.
Okay. Continue to be happy because then we're going to take a look at this next question, which is, if it is old, where is the vampire's nest? Complexity 4. You're going to resolve the threat now by infiltrating its nest and destroying it or convincing it to leave London. So if it is old,
I just want to say something. I haven't seen the threat at all because I wasn't here last session. I didn't have the time to look at the thing. And my instinctive thought before, Ben came up with this pretty awesome theory, which would not have struck me at all, was basically a Peter Pan type creature because you guys have all this like young child but also old stuff. And that was my instinctive thought of creature that sheds skin or something but is also old.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a really cool image.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
We'll find some clues to support that.
Yep. Well, I mean, again, let's see.
It's like The Thing,
Find somebody's husk.
Yeah. So basically, like with the West End Wraith, you have 3 clues for a complexity 4. So, I mean, gather away and then figure out what you want to do. And then again, you have the new threat, the Drowned Guardian of the Docks, which is the threshold is a complexity 2. You have to decide whether it's a demon or a helpful guardian spirit. Okay? So, what would everybody like to do today? And you can always start with vulnerable moves and see how you want to pair up for those. Okay? So what's happening?
Mildred, would you like to start?
I can. I mean, if anyone has any ideas. I'm down for some vulnerable moves if anyone wants them. I don't know if I have any ideas for one right now, but I'll totally riff off anyone else's. But I think, I don't know, I'm torn because I feel like Mildred has a connection with the underwater stuff because of the creature. And I feel like she could, but maybe I'll do that during the night, go visit the creature of Criminal Gardens, see if I can get some answers for that. So maybe during the day, she'll go back to the Limehouse district and check around and see if she could find any more information about where this nest might be. But yeah, like I said, I'm down for a vulnerable move. I don't have any ideas for one yet, but yeah, if no one else does, I'm fine too.
Lord Oda.
So in the map room, there's a scavenger hunt map whose requirements change every time one glances at it, that supposedly end up at a wardrobe that ends up that's an entrance to the Fae. And I'm not sure if that's actually it will work or not, but I do want to Lord Oda will go to the map room take up this very strange map that, you know, changes every time and try to find a way to the Fae. And
For
hopefully
what?
to that Fae woman.
For to speak to whom?
Yeah,
To speak to that strange what's her name?
Titania from the painting.
He doesn't know her name, I don't think so. But to speak to
When
the
did this
mastermind.
happen? I don't remember this at all.
I don't think we know that she's Fae, though, do we?
No, I don't think so.
Oh no, okay, never mind.
I think she's just some lady.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that then. Yeah, I think
I mean, Eligos might, but
let me consider what he's going to do. Eligos.
I don't know. Like, as much as I want another clue so we can knock out West End Wraith, I feel like I've been doing a lot of the investigating over there. I think maybe.
I feel like that's fine. I mean, like, I think hunters will sort of gravitate towards certain threats, and
They will. Yeah. I mean, if it appeals to them, or if it's like they have an investment in it, then
Yeah, but I've been doing like that's been 100% of my actions for the last 2 sessions. Also,
that's up
Yeah,
to you.
let's
So,
head down to the docks and continue playing Sherlock Holmes.
Smoke, what would you like to do?
If Mildred's up for that vulnerable move, I'll take that because I have
Sure.
2 conditions already.
Sure.
And after that, I think I might head off to the Western Wraith because I don't think I've been there much, so I should go check it out.
Yeah, probably only like, for that night that you were going to save Lord Oda, and then he started singing, and you're like, psh, of course he didn't need any help.
I think I'm going to go apologize to the singer who I interrupted the other night.
Okay, so you're gonna go to
I
the
like
Palais
that.
too?
Lord
Smoke
Oda,
and
apologize.
Smoke and Mr. Oda go into the Palais. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, great. Okay, so smoking Oda again. Sorry. I should have more composure.
It's a fun
as a GM.
combination.
It
isn't
really
it?
is. I'm sorry. I have to giggle because it just seems like every time you two get together, I'm just like, oh no.
The 2 characters who can do
Whatever
violence,
could possibly go
arriving
wrong.
at Virate.
Whatever
Doing
possibly could go
violence?
wrong. I'm sorry. I gotta have a lot more composure as a GM, and I'm still having trouble with that. Okay.
You really don't.
What?
Yeah, so I'm looking for Billy Bowman.
Okay, so hold on. So Billy Bowman, and then Smoke. You're just gonna go ahead and investigate, right?
Before that vulnerable move.
Well, of course. Yeah. But like kind of like figuring out like where people are going, but like after the vulnerable move, it's fine. Okay, so whose vice is being engaged in this first round of vulnerable moves, and who's framing it up?
I'm gonna say Mildred probably slept in a little bit, so I think that it would probably be more appropriate for Smoke's vice.
Okay, so I am going to say that if Mildred slept in, like when she wakes up and comes downstairs, the living room is just absolutely full of smoke. Like that there is just cigar smoke, cigarette smoke. I think like there's like it's starting to become a pile on the table. Probably.
Yeah, Mildred will come down to the, and I imagine there's like a landing at the stairs and like an open reception hall area, and then there's like a, the salon maybe off to the side, and she'll come down and notice that there's just like heavy gray smog just collecting around the entrance to the salon, and she'll assume it's smoke, but also wants to make sure that it's not some kind of like chimney demon or something. So she was going to go ahead and go inside and good morning, Smoke. I see that you found the cigar box.
It's been an interesting morning and an interesting night.
Yes. I think I still bear some of those, some of that interest. And she starts to like rub her ribs where she fell down and she was dropped.
Swoke is going to look over and sort of not ask, but like more like raise an eyebrow.
Oh, it was nothing. It was just, vampires. That old hat.
Yes, vampires. I hope to have the displeasure of meeting some soon then.
You might. I'm going over to Limehouse later to see if I can find anything else about this creature's nest and can figure out what to do with it once we find it.
Yes, work is going to nod and offer you, like, I want to say offer you a box which has probably like all kinds of varying smokables.
No, thank you. I don't smoke myself. I have sensitive lungs.
Pity. It's an interesting hobby, to say the least.
I hope this isn't too forward, Smoke. I would ask Eligos, but he has other duties to take care of this morning. Are you? And she looks down at your hands and notices that they're like a little bit. I imagine, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Like I imagine they're like a little bit more rough. They're a little bit more, like worked with.
Yeah, for sure.
If you wouldn't mind, do you know anything about giving the odd massage?
Swook is going to say, not particularly, but I can give it a shot if you don't mind. Well, the potential of me messing up.
No, I don't think you will. It's last night the vampire in question, the aforementioned vampire, decided to use whatever abilities it has to lift me up at least 10 feet into the air and drop me just quickly. So I'm feeling a bit sore, especially around the ribs and back area. So if you wouldn't mind, just a back rub would be nice.
I mean, yeah, I can do like basically out of character. Yeah, Smoke would do that. Smoke has no. But like, I do think that like it's probably going to be a bit rougher and jankier than like the average massage that you've gotten.
You'll notice that she feels like that it's actually putting her at ease, like despite the fact that you're not a professional, like it's still like calming to her, and like she wince a bit, but like overall I think she's having a pleasurable experience.
Okay. Yes.
No, I was just going to say you seem much more calm this morning than you have been the past few days. You seem rather agitated.
So if this is after, like presumably this is after the massage or something, then Smoke is just going to sort of
or
nod
like during,
toward, or during, like Smoke is going to sort of nod towards the box of stuff. I'm going to be like I said, it's a nice hobby to have sometimes. It helps.
Yeah, I think I'm good to end it there.
Okay. So, looking at conditions. Well, I mean, you're calming down. I'm assuming from all that cigarette smoke, so agitated can go away. Smoke.
Yep.
You didn't quite take care of glass splinters, at least not that we know of. Oof. And I guess you already wiped out your condition, Mildred. Getting like less battered and bruised.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Getting the loving touch of Smoke.
So, since it's your vice, Eirinar, what would you like to take as a bonus? Invite Mildred to ask you a question about your past, or would you like to create a clue for one of the active threats?
Don't we have multiple threats that all require like precisely one clue to be run?
West End Wraith
Uh,
and Limehouse Lurker require just one more just to meet the complexity.
Yeah, okay, then I'll just do that. We
Okay,
don't have to answer the question now, but yeah, we'll still do
Well, right. I mean, but you just have to create the clue and then, like, let us know when I come back to you.
Yeah.
All right. So, who is up next for vulnerable move? Is it Lord Oda?
I mean, if it's not too much trouble to Jack, I would go next.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Or Lord Oda, so you can clear watched.
Yeah.
Do it, coward.
Yeah.
Maybe Lord Oda intercepts Eligos on his way.
I think
I
might
only
even
have
be-
one. You have three.
Eligos, I've been trying to think of how I want to do the I want to attack my Dawn question of, did you create an over the top erotic experience for someone else's pleasure? And I was thinking I could do it with you if you feel comfortable.
I cannot conceive of a scenario where Eligos would be okay with that.
Yeah, but with you, Chris, would you be
No,
okay?
yes, that's fine with me. Listen, I don't think I could be in this game if I wasn't cool with weird sex shit.
Okay.
But like, Eligos is very much playing the stiff upper lip right now.
Yeah,
I've
so
got
what
to
is
see this.
Eligos's vice is comedy,
Yes.
was it?
Yes, but I cannot approach you with anything. I can only approach Mildred.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe going to hell and back with you, if possible, through the room.
Okay, sure.
And it'll be comedy. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Oh,
It'd be a divine
yeah,
comedy.
no. But yeah, divine comedy.
Oh shit! The 9 rings. Okay, we don't have time for 9 rings. All right. You get to
Okay,
do
okay.
maybe half
Okay,
the
we
one.
can just go down to the one for actors, so it's a comedy. What is that?
What if
Ring
we get-
5? Ring
what's
6?
the
5 or
bottommost
6?
ring?
It is 9. It is the
Tartarus.
frozen hell.
The frozen hell.
I think either 5 or 6 is the drowning hell, and it's the one where actors just carte blanche. All actors go to the 5th ring of hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that might be. Well, there's one where everyone's always in coitus, right? I think that's the second.
Is that? Oh God, you're right. Yeah,
Um,
that's it. It's like there's the gluttonous hell, and then there's the one
They are
under that, right?
they are punished by
Yeah.
being
Let me
blown
literally
violently
just
back
Google
and forth
this.
by strong
Yeah,
winds.
so lust is the second circle after limbo.
Yeah, let's go to lust.
Okay.
Would you like to?
Shh.
I don't think that Lord Oda's asking. I think Lord Oda is setting this up.
I don't think you're asking me. I think you're tricking me.
Yeah, I think it is a trick. Like
I'll absolutely agree to go to hell with you for my own personal reasons. You can just be dishonest about which circle we're going to.
I mean,
yeah,
again,
so
it's got to involve one of your vices. So
yeah.
That's
So
why I'm.
Eligos, please tell me how I convinced you to go to hell. And I have a skeleton key that through a door in my room I could go to any place I've been before. So
Well, I mean, like I want it to be under the guise of investigation.
oh, okay. Eligos.
And the only one that fits
So-
for that, I think, other than the mastermind, which is that even a thing we can investigate?
I think it
in
might be
real
the
terms?
Limehouse Lurker, right? Because we've already determined.
Oh, right,
someone
vampires are
related to
from hell.
religious. So I would say, Eligos, I require early in the morning before you even have these interactions, like I wake you up and I say, Eligos, for the first time in my life, I need you. I need a companion
It
to go
is
someplace.
not the first time you've needed me. It's just the
Oh,
first time you've said it.
I admit it. It
But
is
what
the
do you
first time.
need?
Eligos, I have made you some coffee. I've done my best. It's not too bitter. Just wake up. We have a place to go to. It's going to be very warm. So I suggest you
Are
take
you
off
sending
your
me to
jacket.
hell, Oda?
Well,
If so, rude.
in a
But
sense.
let's go.
Yes. And that's the way we like I have him come with me while he's like half bleary-eyed, and we go to the large door with the mirror finish, and I put the skeleton key with the satin cord into the hole, and it clicks open with a sigh, and this heat, this warm blustery wind breathes out, and we step
What is that smell?
Yeah. What about just the smell tells you that we are going to enter hell, Eligos?
I mean, as much as I want it to be fire and brimstone, it's probably a few things that I shouldn't mention in polite company. Mostly sweat, if we're being honest, but
Yeah.
Thankfully, we're
And
not polite.
And that's where we go.
smells like
Do we want to like cut to another group doing the vulnerable move, or?
I mean, okay, let's
I'm so
let's cut to
sorry,
the chase.
But no, the phrase I would use to describe this smell is stale orgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
okay.
wouldn't say it's stale, but it is. So basically, we're doing your Vice, comedy, right?
Sure.
And so I feel like I have like a large platform of people who are going to be our chairs to this divine comedy before us. That's not really funny, of people suffering in hell. But to me,
Are you making Eligos do stand-up comedy for damned souls?
yes,
Yeah,
I think so.
Amazing.
And totally straight too. It's like it's not even like, funny haha or funny crude. It's more like, and this is what happened to me today.
Oh God.
God, you really put me on the spot. I need a good dick joke for this.
Oh.
We're gonna just like, first for time's sake, we're just going to say that
Gonna not do this.
well, I mean, just again, like to say that, if you are going to have him perform a comedy, then he is going to be doing stand-up comedy in front of these tortured souls.
I would love that. And I say,
Well,
Eligos,
okay, so
I need
here's
you
the
to do this. I am researching for this vampire. It's about, there's something about religion that it's connected with. And this is a direct experience. So as you entertain all of us, I'll be looking for a clue, I guess. Yeah.
So
no duo act
Oh, wait,
for
no,
the
that's not
second
true.
circle?
I have
It
to ask you
seems
for a clue.
rather appropriate.
Yeah, I guess it's not my advice, so I can't do that, right?
right. So basically, it would be you two clearing a condition each, and then one of you. Well, excuse me. Since it's Eligos's vice, Eligos has the option of creating a clue or inviting you to ask him about his past if you actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this is a create a clue kind of scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Eligos, I'm saying,
Let me tell you something. I get no respect. My wife and I, we were happy for 20 years. Then we met.
And all of these bodies are like moaning and laughing in this horrible, horrible way. They're just like sad laughter.
Last
the cringy
week,
laughter,
last week, my mistress told me, "Come over. No one is home." So I rushed over, and no one was home. Oh, you can't see that.
That's what you hear through the circle
Oh,
of
yeah.
hell. Oh God. No gods here. So Okay, so basically,
Okay.
Eligos, I'm assuming from this, because you're making a like parody of memory, you're gonna wipe fond memories out of your mind.
Oh
And
yeah.
Lord
I do also
Oda.
have a theory for how we gain the clue. I think
Okay, wait. I just
think
want to
I parlay
clear. I just want to clear Lord Oda. Lord Oda, you can clear watched. You cannot clear most beloved, but you can clear watched.
Should I?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, but you're being watched by all these sinners down
Yeah.
here.
No, he's not actually. I mean, like they're kind of like
They're watching
They're
Eligos.
literally
really-
ignoring you.
I know. I was
Yes.
just trying to. Yeah.
For
Or just-
once in your entire life, you are not the center of attention.
Oh,
Mm.
And I don't know how to feel about this. I'll clear watch.
Yes, but I
We
will.
did it.
I will have you scar your reflection for bringing Eligos to hell.
Yeah.
So
Rather inconvenient.
these things happen.
these things happen. Yep.
Other things happen in there, but we you know.
Okay. So before Eligos, you discover the clue down in hell. Let's go back to Smoke and Mildred. Okay. So Smoke, do you create the which clue?
Yeah. I was going to say, since we decided that this person is old, as I'm giving Mildred a massage, can I say on like her upper back, sort of, I noticed this weird thing, which seems to be like a symbol that's potentially been put there by the Limehouse Lurker creature. A symbol that is an alphabet, a letter from an ancient language, basically, like some maybe old Egyptian or something in that range of ancient languaging.
Yeah, so I'd say since it's on me, I think Smoke would probably feel it, and maybe they ask what it is, and because Mildred's very buttoned up, she doesn't like to expose herself. But I think there's a moment where when they're done, and she thanks Smoke for it was well, that was remarkable. Thank you so much for that. I've never been one for rub downs and massages or anything of that sort. But you were very gentle in your own way.
Well, yes, there was something strange I saw though, which might be a part of, well, the way a creature treated you, the creature treated you that the other day. Do you commonly carry around a symbol on your back from an ancient language? I couldn't recognize it, but it looked old.
I'm sorry, what symbol? And I think that she goes to like a standing mirror in the salon, and she sees that bleeding through her blouse is that symbol, which is how Smoke is able to see it, because otherwise she would have stayed covered up. But I think that it starts to bleed through the back of her shirt, and it's how the symbol sort of becomes visible.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Smoke is going to sort of point obviously to it and say, that doesn't look like it's doing too great. You should get that looked at, taken care of.
Yes, very promptly. Thank you for that. And you see that she looks more concerned now, once again, and she'll leave the salon, leave you to Smoke, leave Smoke to Smoke.
Yeah.
All right, let's cut back to Eligos and Lord Oda. Eligos, what do you find?
I think what I do is I like bargain with a demon, being like, hey, I tortured these guys. Answer a question for me. You owe me. I know you owe me. Don't test me on this. And do I make up the clue, or
Yes, you do.
you just reveal it?
I mean, you
Okay.
do have a choice. I mean, like, if you are really strapped for trying to think of something, I mean, I could pull from the actual.
No, I had an idea. I just forgot it. Oh, right. Right. Let's have the demon like check the ledgers and go. The whatever's going on in Limehouse, it's not one of ours.
Okay.
What's the clue?
The vampire is not from hell.
Oh.
Which
What
I
if,
don't
what if
think
the demon was
actually-
someone that Dante saw in the Inferno?
Sure.
in the city?
Let's talk to one of the popes.
What?
Innocent the 10th. He did a lot of butt sex. At least was accused of a lot of butt sex.
Okay,
In the
so
se-
unless it has something to do with the West End Wraith or the Limehouse
Oh, with-
Lurker or even the
it was
Drowned
Limehouse-
Guardian, I need
Yeah,
to...
Limehouse. No, the Limehouse Lurker.
Okay. So the clue is the vampire is not
Sorry.
from hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great clue.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Alrighty.
So yeah, the vampire's nest, definitely not in hell.
All right. Okay. So, still 3 clues on the board for West End Wraith, and you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Limehouse Lurker. Okay. And of course, nothing for Drowned Guardian yet. All right. So, is that the end
Now,
of
if
this
I may
scene?
carry on with my day.
Yes. Is that the end of any vulnerable scenes that anybody wants to do? Because then you would all go to your respective... Let's see. So I'm confirming that Mildred wants to go back to Limehouse. Eligos wants to go hit the docks to check out the Drowned Guardian stuff. Smoke, you want to... Smoke and Lord Oda want to go to the Palais. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. All
Good.
right. Let's go with... So Smoke, after you take care of Mildred, and then Lord Oda, once you come back, your clothes stinking of, well, brimstone and stale orgy. You see Smoke heading out the door, and I would imagine that maybe between the two of you, you discover that you're going to go back to the Palais, but for different reasons. So you can totally share a cab. So that's fine. Okay. So, Lord Oda, you're looking for Billy Bowman, and then Smoke, you're just looking around?
Yeah, just going to the Palais.
Okay. Lily DeVere will definitely recognize the two of you from the other night when you were with Lady Sojourn's party. And then she'll greet you and say, "We have gotten rid of that awful grease stain on the curtain, but yes, nothing heard from the spirit or the person haunting recently, but it's only been a day or so. So you are welcome to look around. I'm at a loss."
Let's see. Does she know, just since I missed the session, does she know that the ghost is coming after her by any chance? Have we told her?
I don't think anybody really told her.
Interesting. Okay.
Before we get further into that, let's just go over like the answer to the question yet again. I just want to make sure that we are absolutely clear because it's going to affect how you solve this threat. Lily DeVere is the target of the Wraith's obsession because, and they want to harm her because her parents had something to do with an illicit opium ring? Is that what I'm given to understand, or?
That I think it was like they were getting money from the British Mafia, essentially, whatever the British equivalent of mafia was, and they owned an opium den. But somehow Lily's parents messed either messed a deal up with this criminal gang, this criminal organization, or something along those lines.
And then the wraith has to do with it how?
Let me see if I can remember. Let me look at the clues.
Yeah.
I think the deal was that the wraith is like the means of menacing. Whatever it is, this is how they're threatening her.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think that's right too.
Which I have some theories about. But
The wraith is essentially their goon.
Okay. So the goon of the gang. Okay, got it. So, well, I mean, if the point is for her to pay up, it's like, but she doesn't know because the wraith is doing all this weird stuff around the Palais. It's like, how, Smoke, do you let her know that she's the target? And like,
I tell her to. I'm going to say not say much. I'm going to sort of start looking around, like not like my eyes are going to look around, take a scan of the room, and then I'm going to say, you should watch your back. It could be the calm before the storm. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna walk off into one of like I don't want to say wing/backstage, but like other rooms, because I've already been in the wing/backstage once, I think.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to say you can go ahead and do an information move with reason.
Okay, time to test out said dice. What is my reason? Oh, my reason is a 2. That's nice. That is 11 total.
Nice. All right, I'll come back to you in a second. Lord Oda, what are you doing in the theater?
Yeah, I'm going to Billy Bauman. What's his name?
Belly Bowman. Yep.
Billy
Lady
Bowman.
Pipewell, basically.
Lady Pipewell. And I'm going to go share an apology for taking her stage, for upstaging her the night before.
What time would you say that you guys are here at the Palais?
Late morning, early afternoon.
Okay. I
Yeah,
just wanted to be
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah, it's more likely that they're there in the early afternoon, just because it's like, of course, like late performances at night. So
yeah.
And Billy Bowman's there, just kind of like, hair in a, or actually, I think they're
Is
more.
he in his dressing room or?
Yeah, they're like, they're in the dressing room, and then they're just kind of patting themselves down. They're in a dressing gown, and it's like, they're putting, like, they're just kind of like putting powder and makeup on, the beginnings of makeup, and then kind of declaiming some lines while they're in the dressing room.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that Lord Oda listens at the door of the dressing room at the murmurs, breathes in, and we see the camera catches first the glints of the gold, but then it backs away to see the full dress of Cleopatra that he's wearing, whom he met in the second layer of hell. And he dons Cleopatra's veil, and I'm marking a mask to add that to my personal quarters. I'm gonna what is it called? Marking my reflection, because
scarring your reflection.
Scarring my reflection.
For
that's part of the that is part of the collection.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I step in all of my splendor and glory, gold gown, like a reflection of the god Horus from the Egyptian mythology, right? And then I say a line from Antony and Cleopatra. Cleopatra, if it be love indeed, tell me how much. I'll set a bourne how far to be beloved.
Billy Bowman will turn away from what he's doing and look at you very haughtily, Lord Oda, and just kind of give you a look up and down and say, "What you know of love, sir? You have no love for anything but yourself. Interrupting a performance, putting yourself in danger, putting me in danger. How dare you?"
And Lord Oda says, "Oh, you are quite right. I did put you in danger back there, and I did take your stage. If you'd looked up, if I hadn't pulled you away sooner, you might not have been caught." Wait, Lord Oda kind of drifts his way like a cloud toward Bowman and bows and says, "I have seen many queens in my time. I even met a queen this morning. From her I take this vow, but none so beautiful have I seen of yours, and I know you are hurt. I hear hurt in your voice. That I took the stage that was your due, and I put you in danger. For that I am sorry, Bowman, and I've come to apologize. You may know me. Some people do, but I am let's say, a man of the theater. I am a man of the divine comedy. And if there's anything I could do to help you forgive me, I would be very grateful. Is there anything I can do for you that would make you feel less frustrated?"
Bowman considers it and will actually smile at you, Lord Oda, as he says,
Is this a day move?
No, this is well, I mean, you know, there's nothing risky about this. This is something that Bowman is going to say to you.
Okay.
And Bowman is going to say, listening to your tone, one would almost think that you have the shade of honesty behind it, but like there's that little tinge of irony that just throws any kind of sincerity out of the window. I give your performance 3 out of 5 stars.
And yet my words are true. I do want to know what you want, Bowman. I've heard many stories about you. That you are a want of money, that you are want of lovers. But what is it you truly want? I guess this is, yeah, I'm not sure. I inquire directly and I bow to kiss, as if to kiss Bowman's hand. I hold my hand out and I lower Cleopatra's veil to place it in his hand, perhaps. In their hand, I'm not sure.
What are you trying to do, basically?
I'm trying to find out how I could get his forgiveness, and I guess this is an information move that I'm trying to trigger.
Sure. Okay.
Using the veil as a to bump up, what is it called, to do advantage on the roll.
Okay. Well, with Most Beloved, I'm gonna say that it's like you're just doing a flat roll right now because it's canceling out it's helping cancel out Most Beloved. Okay.
Got it.
So, yes.
I got a 664. So, am I rolling with presence as well, or?
Well, again, it's like it's a flat roll, so you'd only like roll 2 dice, and then you would be presence.
Oh, okay, got it. Let me re-roll that. So it's presence. So 2d6. I got a 3 and a 3.
So
Plus
2. So 6 plus 2 is 8.
yes.
Okay. And this is our info for given clue. All right. I'll come back to you two in a minute. Let me go over to Eligos and Mildred. All right, so Eligos, let's get you over to the docks. So.
Righto.
Right-o. Okay. So, the London docks.
Yeah.
A forest of masts with flags of every color. The surging tide of humanity filled with travelers from every port imaginable. The staggering onslaught of smells, fresh spices and rotting meat, tobacco and rum, salty air and chimney smoke. And this is an aside from me, which probably smells a lot better than what you were smelling in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Paint the scene. This is for you since you're here. How does the bustling energy of humanity fill you with wonder? And how does the relentless march of industry stifle that same humanity?
I mean, it's as simple as walking down the street and hearing a different language at every port, and then realizing that no one's actually talking to each other because they're all engaged in back-breaking labor.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you're here at the London docks, and I mean, as you say, I mean, like, you know, many languages, many people, crush of people, like doing what they're doing. Any idea of where you'd like to go? There's a few places here. There's some place called the Wine Vaults. There's another place called the Dancing Devilfish. There's also the boarding house, and then there's also like one of the ships that's being loaded. Yep. So, and there's also a church here as well.
Let's go to the Dancing Devilfish.
Right. Heavy beams hung with maritime paraphernalia, dim oil lamps and gleaming bottles. Laborers from every walk of life commiserate over tarnished pewter mugs. So, this is a paint the scene, and I'm going to give this to everybody. So, paint the scene for the Dancing Devilfish. What troubles do the clientele seek relief from? And what unites them to the common cause?
I think it's London, and because it's London, it's always kind of gray and wet. And so this day is no different. It's drizzling out, and between that and the water they have to deal with, it's just all their hands are all sorts of pruny, and so they go in to get away from the cold and the rain and the wetness of the sea, the river.
I think that there's like the room probably the bar probably has like these nice sort of infusers and all these, like, I don't want to say dehumidifiers, but whatever chemicals work as dehumidifiers. So when they come in, it actually like smells pleasant and is like non-briny, as opposed to the, you know, the sort of fishy brininess of outside.
All right, so Eligos, you're in the Dancing Devilfish.
Yes.
Do you, like, where do you go? Like, who, like, you know, do you just kind of wander around? Do you look around yourself? Do you talk to anybody?
I mean, what time of day is it, do you think? Which I guess is another way of saying how drunk is the average patron.
Well, think about it. I mean, like, you know, if this is like kind of serving people from like boats and such like that. I mean, like, you know, whenever they come in for port, it's it could be any time of day, so there's no worry about, like, any specific time of day that they're going to serve. But they're going to serve all the time, fairly much.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, like, after your wonderful adventure with Lord Oda, I mean, again, it could be around, like, early afternoon or something. So,
My goal here is to find some moderately drunk folks like that. I don't want anyone under the table, and just ask them point blank, like, start sharing stories and see if they can, if any of them has heard anything about the drowned guardian.
gotcha. All right, so let's see. Who do you talk to? Okay. All right, so I think in this place, I think you see a couple of fellows like over at a table, and they're kind of like tamping their mugs and everything, and then one of them is a little bit louder than the others. Some of his two companions refer to him as Francis, and Francis is wearing a grease-stained uniform, has graying hair, a somber expression, and pale blue eyes. And yeah, it's like you come up near the table as he's saying, "I've come by everything through honest work, through bad times and good. I've always looked out for my neighbors back home, but here they'll work you to death for pennies and then find another sorry sod to take your place the next day."
Oh, it's just the era we live in, I guess.
Oh,
All I had from home. But grind you down, send you back.
Indeed. Sit down here, youngster. Need a mug?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Kind of pushes like a half-filled mug at you.
I'll make small talk for a while, and then once I'm good and in there,
Yeah, go ahead and
I'll
roll.
just sort of let it slip. Like a couple of guys on my ship are out of their goddamn minds, thinking there's some kind of selkie or something harassing the ports, just like critters,
No.
ghosts. None of them have
no.
the same.
No. I think it's more of been helpful. Like, I mean, some of the people that said were drowned off of the accident, they come back. Yeah.
Do they now?
Yeah. They look a little strange when they come back. A little bit changed. Maybe some kind of cuts. They complain about not being able to breathe, but once they're in the water, they're fine. But, yeah. And, go ahead.
I don't know, mate. Seems like they've been keyholed to me. But let's roll with what?
Roll with, I think in this case, since you're talking to him and commiserating with him.
Flat roll, okay.
Presence, yes.
Should be a flat roll. Let me double check.
Oh, don't forget you can wipe out fond memories. Like, yeah, I think you.
Oh, right. Thank you.
But yes, flat roll.
That is a 6.
We will come back to that. All right. Mildred, Limehouse. Where specifically? Are you going back to the school? Are you going to the Dog and Whistle?
No, so I think that she's been to the docks, and that obviously didn't turn out great for her. She went to the school and found a bunch of clues there, so I think she's going to go to the last place that there was a victim that was found, and that's the opium den.
Okay. All right, let me get over to the opium den. I think You all...
And I think she'd want to probably like talk to Jenny Johnston if she's there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jenny is definitely there.
Or anyone else who's there.
Mm-hmm. So... I'm trying to remember, like, you hadn't been to the opium den before yourself, right?
I've been outside there, but it was like at the end. No. That was I was supposed to be, but then Eligos, my person, Friday'd to where I was. And so I didn't
Right. Okay, so you didn't get to go in yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think... I mean, Jenny Johnston will come up to you and introduce herself and such. She, hold on. It's all over the place. Why? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so basically she's, again, a soothing disposition. She's kind of pretty but faded. She's wearing a dark taffeta gown. And her opium den is quite successful. And if I remember correctly with the way it was described, I mean, like, there's bunk beds where people can partake in relative comfort, comparatively, and, not worry about being bothered while they dream with the smoke. And, yeah. I still have the bodies like down in the basement. I believe.
Yes.
Your colleague
I
had
believe
come.
Yes, Eligos. He had come, but he does better with that sort of thing than I do. I'm really more interested in people and seeing if they've seen anything. Perhaps any of the clients, maybe they saw something. Maybe they saw what their attacker was or who it was.
Well, I consider myself a bit of a leader here in this East London area. No one else really thought of anyone when they were bringing them from their different places. I don't know if, Charla Bell was found behind Limehouse School, and Zhao Donghai was found outside of, I think, the Dog and Whistle. And Soft Jimmy was found in a dark corner here in the opium den.
Would you mind showing me to that dark corner?
Absolutely. Yes. And then she will lead you there. And, yeah, it is quite the dark corner. I mean, some of the beds have been shoved over, almost forming like a, not a barricade, but like its own little room. Like with, like, like a couple of bunk beds forming like the walls of this corner. And in the middle of that corner are some cushions. And then on the cushion, or one of the cushions, I should say, lounges a man, or looks like a man, who is dressed in a gold smoking jacket and yellow silk pants. There seems to be soft slippers on his feet. And there's a sun-shaped half-mask obscuring his identity. And seems to be smoking diligently at a pipe in this corner.
Yeah, she looks down at him curiously, and I think that the outfit is obviously outlandish for this particular venue.
Although they get all types here. They do get all types.
True. But I feel like the polish of his presentation is probably a bit better than your usual addict here. And so I think she'll glance over at the corner where he was found, but then she'll migrate over to this man in a sun mask.
And he looks up. I mean, again, he's lounging in these cushions, and he will kind of languidly look up from their pipe. Well, what do you hear? You look a little too ladylike to enjoy the pipe today. But
You would be
I assume you're not here for the pipe or the smoke.
correct, sir. I'm Mildred Bloom of Hargrave House. I've actually come to, well, on behalf of the proprietor of this establishment. You see, there was an incident with a young man here, and I was wondering if anyone, and perhaps you, had seen anything odd or suspicious, any children wandering around about.
Do you know, we have all sorts of people here. We have adults, sometimes even what look like children, and they will partake to dream. There are worlds beyond worlds. There's world beyond this one, you know? It is like our own world. It is in fact our world, but impossibly ancient. It's a world where the sun is new, and where old spirits and old gods play and make war with each other. I have seen it all with my eyes, all my eyes. It is magnificent and terrible and bloody and every other awful, wonderful thing you can imagine.
She just stares at him for a moment, partially sizing him up, but also partially trying to kind of present this stoic facade, despite the fact that she is a little unsettled by him. But she will continue, and she'll actually kneel down to his level and say, "Sir, I am well aware of the other worlds. Though I have not traveled to them myself, I have read about them a great deal. Tell me,
But some of these people, these entities from these worlds, visit you, do they not?
what did you say your name was again?"
I did not. They know me as the man in the sun mask.
What's behind that mask?
Do not ask the question that the answer will cause your mortality. There are worlds that are beyond human comprehension, and there are worlds that cause death when looked upon.
What do you know about this vampire?
Direct question. What do I know of dark beings? What do I know of this person that comes possibly from one of these worlds that I see? Roll the information move, please, with sensitivity.
That's an 11. But I'm actually going to use a mask to mark it up to a 12.
Okay, 12 plus. All right, so we are back. We're going to resolve everybody's rolls. So we're going back to the Palais. And so let me give Smoke a clue first because they got an 11. So for the 11, you get... This is going to be fitting in, I think. So as you're looking around, Smoke, you're heading backstage, like behind the scenes, that kind of thing. And as you're poking around, I think you find, grisly as it is, you find the severed head of what looks like a patron. And it's used as an impromptu vase for a dozen red roses. You find this in the back.
Is it in like a conspicuous place? Like, I put the clue down, but is it like in a conspicuous place in the sense of
in the sense
you know,
of
like,
it's outside of the dressing rooms. It's like it would be like outside of the dressing rooms, like, you know, like on a table where they would, I guess, like leave presents or scripts or whatever. I mean, like, it's just kind of like a placement table right outside the dressing rooms. And first you don't really think about it because, you know, it's just a dozen red roses. But then you look and okay, hold on, let me just check safety because I'm like, I don't want to freak people out. Okay, I don't think this will cross it. So anyway, yeah, you take a first glance and like it just looks like, you know, a place where they have a dozen red roses, but you realize that the dozen red roses are coming out of this head whose mouth is open. Like the mouth contains all of these roses stuffed in it. And that's your clue. Yay.
I'm going to pick up a rose and sort of keep it on me, I think.
Okay. All right. And then let me flip over to Lord Oda, who's trying to get forgiveness from Billy Bowman. And Billy Bowman is not having it, but I think what you're going to find, I mean, and this could be for your, I guess, custom move as well, but we would definitely put this as a capital C clue for West End. You find you talk about love, Lord Oda, and to that I say again, 3 out of 5 stars. Perhaps this will give you a better education on what it means to love. And Billy will hand you what looks like a stack of love letters tied in ribbon. That is your capital C clue. Okay. Cutting over to Eligos. Huh, you got a 6. You got a 6.
I'm marking a mask.
Okay, alrighty. Alright, so I think what he's going to do, now that you've marked a mask to get it to 7 to 9, I think he's going to get conspiratorial, like, you know, as he's leaning forward and then, like, kind of bringing his mug close to yours. And then Francis will tell you about, look around, mate. Do you notice something about some of them? Not the ones that maybe not the ones that look a little strange to begin with, but like look over there. And then he's kind of like, you know, his line of sight is going towards a group that is maybe a couple tables away. And you start to notice that certain people in some of these groups have what look like Curious bracelets of braided seaweed worn by strangers with no apparent connection. They're scattered in their different groups, like maybe one here, one there. They're not together. They're with different groups, or maybe by themselves. But yes, they are wearing these bracelets of braided seaweed. That is your clue. And then he'll say, and it's been weird. It's like this song. There's like this song that makes you feel like you are righteous to want to take revenge upon your masters. And I don't know where it's coming from. It takes over. You hear it, and you don't know when you hear it, but when you do, you get this feeling.
What does it feel like?
As you ask that, and I think you're a little bit more sensitive to it, being who you are. You feel this hum. It's like sunlight underneath the water. It's like bubbles of sparkling stars underneath the waves. And that's what it makes you feel like. You feel like you're dancing, but not here. You feel like you are in unison with something bigger and larger, but in common with you. It has a bubbling sound all its own. Take the condition haunted by the sea. Yeah. And then Mildred, you got an 11, bumped up to 12, so you get a mastermind clue.
I did.
When I remember to put that together and then get that over to you guys. All right. So your clue for today is this is fitting. The man in the sun mask will turn to you after taking a long drag off of the pipe. And then he will turn his mask slowly to you, Mildred, and say, "You would know about this vampire, then? You wish to know whether they are, well, here, and where they possibly could reside?"
Yes. Yes, I do.
And he blows a long column of smoke in the air, and the smoke starts to form almost a picture. Actually, it forms several pictures as he blows. Somehow, he only took that one drag off of the pipe, but you can see these forms in the smoke. Perhaps maybe it's your sensitivity, maybe it's the way you view the world in your rituals. But you recognize this, and you see what looks like interpretations and drawings of a Roman phalanx drifting in the smoke. That is your clue.
Yeah, she'll let the images wash by her, cough a little bit. Seems to be a running theme. People just smoking in her face. Man in the sun mask, the sun mask. Very proper of you. I appreciate the vision. I hope it will come to help.
I hope it helps you as well. You are one who seems to seek answers. Maybe to questions you don't even know you have. May I give you a piece? Well, And he thinks about it. May I tell you a story? It's a short story.
Yes, you may.
In the long ago, Queen Elizabeth returns to her palace. Following her coronation, to find the fairy queen, Titania, waiting for her by her throne. Titania pledges her aid to this beautiful queen. In return, she asks for an exchange. The offering that she requests is that one night of the year, every year that Elizabeth is on the throne, she requests that the people are gripped by nightmares the entire night.
That sounds very cruel.
Elizabeth agreed.
Well, it seems very much in line with the Fae, doesn't it? You've given me much to ponder, though. I should be going.
Return and visit me whenever you feel the need to speak, to talk, or for someone to possibly listen. I will be here. And
I think at this point she'd already stood up, but when he starts to say that, she looks back and takes it in. She doesn't say anything back, but she'll turn to face the door and head out.
And she'll see him taking a long drag of his pipe and blow what looks like pictures that she can't tell what they are in the air. And I think for that, that wraps up day phase. All right, so day phase is wrapped. Let's go on to dusk. All right, so any playbook moves. Oh boy, smoke. Please roll the quickening.
Yep. Yeah. What do I roll it with? I keep forgetting. 10 plus. Roll with composure and sensitivity. It doesn't matter. They're both zeros. This is just great. That is a 6. That is a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look. I want to just take a look at this because I want to read it out loud. So at a 6, on a miss, you're going to lose control. You can either retire this character and tell the keeper to put the cursed, the threat, in play, or you can reveal your curse to another hunter and ask for their help in controlling you through this night. If they agree, neither of you can take any action that would trigger a move during the upcoming night phase. though you should narrate scenes showing how the cursed character is being controlled through the night. And then during the dawn phase, you will each mark 1 XP. And this option can only be chosen once.
Hmm.
Hey, do you
I'm
wanna
not
be
gonna
comforted
mark.
through the night by me?
Oh, that would be fun.
But
I was
Lord,
gonna ask Eligos, but it is so much more fun with Lord Oda.
neither of you
Yeah,
can do
that
anything
is,
else for night. Just so you know.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. We can do.
Oh my god, this is gonna
Yeah.
be great.
I
Yeah,
got business to take care of tonight, so
Yeah, I don't want to mark a mask because it's so much fun to actually have the fail on this one. So.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, especially with Lord Oda. I can't wait to see this. Oh my god. Oh, okay, so.
looks like you took me to hell for nothing, huh?
Okay. So, again, we're marking it now, and this is what you're going to be both doing for the rest of for the night phase. And yeah, you can only mark this the once. Oh God. All right. So yeah, so we know what you guys are doing. Great, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Eligos. So Eligos, what business do you have to do for the night phase?
I have petty vengeance to wreak
Oh boy.
on a certain eye-ringed merchant.
Okay.
Threatening my charge.
Interesting. All right, and Mildred, where will you be going?
I am probably going to go ahead and, well, first of all, I feel like, well, so I think depending on what we do with the Limehouse Lurker, I think we've got enough to answer this next question. And if we do answer it, I think she's going to go and confront it.
Okay. All right.
Oh, if she's going to confront it, I'm going with her.
I would love that. Oh my gosh.
No, you two are booked into dealing with each
I know,
other.
but-
You
answer
two
the
are booked
question.
in, but just the two of us.
Should be
I want to
hilarious.
answer the question.
Now I want.
Oh no, you you totally can in this phase. But I mean, I can't wait. Let's see what happens. Okay, all right. So possibly,
Yeah, so
possibly Limehouse for the two of you, or what have you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also have a mask. I don't know if you want me to do that now or at the end, but I can do
It is up to you. Do you want to do the mask now, or do you want to wait?
Let's do the question. Let's answer the question first, if everyone's okay with that. Everyone down to answer a question? All right, cool.
All right.
So based on the clues that we have right now, child-sized husk of shedded skin, pool of half-coagulated blood in a dark subterranean place, linen cloths with depiction of solar system, a letter from an ancient language on Mildred's back, the vampires not from hell, vision of the Roman phalanx marching by. I think
6.
so.
Yep.
There is so my theory is that because the child-sized husk was found near Limehouse School, I think that there's a subterranean chamber down there. And I think that the pool of half-coagulated blood in a dark subterranean place speaks to that. It was maybe like an omen, a sign that, it's kind of like, because he's older, he's not afraid, or they're not afraid to leave calling cards, what have you.
Sure.
I think the linen cloths with the depiction of a solar system on it are actually so I think that actually, no, I'm skipping that. I think between the solar system and I think the Roman phalanx, I think that this this entity, I think in these visions of the Roman phalanx, there was probably like, it was probably in honor of some Roman deity, and I could use some help.
Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That could be fun.
Patron of Constantine before he found Christ.
Oh God.
Oh, look at you.
So totally,
So yeah.
totally dissed by Constantine. Oh, he's a pissed off little guy. Great. Okay.
And I think like speaking
Is
to the
this
whole
the-
extra.
Yeah, is this a resolve a threat question? It is, right? So it's the last question we have to answer.
Yeah. For Limehouse, yes. All right. So okay, that covers the ancient.
So I think the
nature.
ancient language on Mildred's back is maybe the letter is maybe like the monogram of Sol Invictus.
Oh God, I can find that actually. I think.
And
Jack.
then Yep.
Do you want to do the vampire is obviously not from hell, it's from a different place, they're underground.
Yeah.
Well,
I was wondering, like with the solar system, and we were talking about kind of like extraterrestrial stuff. Maybe this is like, maybe it's from the heavens, but like the celestial heavens, not like the spiritual heavens.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a different idea.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so we're talking about just to be clear, what clues are we available to us right now?
The ones in bold: child-sized husk,
the ones in okay.
subterranean place.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So I think that the vampire is housed at a museum. And the reason being is that there's depictions of there's representations of a Roman phalanx. There's a letter from an ancient language. There's depictions of solar systems. And so these are all things that you'd find at like a history museum, like a museum that depicts different periods in history, or like so I think
just different like fields of study. Yeah,
and fields of study, and that the reason why there's a child-sized husk, it's because the vampire first found out about it because they were like about the children because they visited that museum. It was like one of the only occasions when they were like not working, like
the field trip.
Yeah, the city provided a field trip for the children, as like or some patron allowed them to go see the museum, and this is when the vampire was like, "Ooh, I see it, like specific children who will be perfect, right?" What else? The vampire is obviously not from hell; they're from the stars. That's what I'm working with.
I like that was that was actually my initial thing about the museum, and I was kind of tripped up because of the husk of shedded skin. But I like the idea of like a patron having taken him there or them there. I keep saying that. Yeah. The only thing though that we would need to explain then is the coagulated blood in a dark subterranean place. Like how does that?
Oh, that's because part of the museum is an old Roman ruin underneath the museum, which would connect to your idea.
So we think that like this is actually like Sol Invictus, and like he came from the stars to be worshipped as a god, but then Constantine was like, I like Jesus anyway.
Yeah, I think that's
he's
great.
more joke, but
I'm not even joking. So.
No, I was gonna make a joke about Constantine switching faiths, but I will abstain. But I like that. So then yeah. So
because
Sol
the vampire
Invictus
can shed faces. Didn't we establish that or something?
It was
we've got a child husk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think that the child is able to take on forms of, but I don't know. That's the thing. I think
it's like like the vampire. It is currently wearing a child's clothes, like their body, like they're inside.
Oh, so like maybe or
body snatcher. Got it.
Maybe it's like a parasite or something like that, and like it invades the body of children.
Like or
not even
right?
necessarily
That's one of
children, but
the vessels.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be a child because the vampire's a child. But
right now it's
it's a child right now, but it doesn't have to be
in the body of a child.
Yes, because in its current form. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that could also kind of play into the whole half coagulated blood part is kind of like Ra's al Ghul, kind of like the Lazarus pit kind of thing. It's like must go into this pool to be able to revitalize after shedding the skin, after shedding the husk.
Oh.
So
there's something about
that could be fun.
The transition of bodies that has to do with like the blood.
Correct.
That could be
Correct.
fun. Kind of like a little bit of a Bathory kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that could definitely play into it.
I
and
do
then-
like that it's underneath the British Museum or something like that. I think
156.
that
Right.
I think
So-
that's really fun.
No, that's really
maybe,
cool.
Yeah. Maybe like they accidentally woke it up because they found like some artifact that was tied to tied to history, tied to Constantine. But in fact it was actually just sort of maybe like a sarcophagus or something like that. And it just managed to like weasel its way down into
We found the tomb of Constantine, a thing that we always knew where it was. But the British got their hands on it.
Well, you know how they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I'm okay with it. I don't know, how does Eirinar feel with it? I haven't heard from them, so.
Oh no, I was just mostly listening.
6.
Yeah, I like the whole this is a being from the celestial stars thing. So yeah, I'm good. Who is apparently regenerating in a pile of goo under the British Museum. That's fun.
Truly is, actually. And that with all 6 clues being
Maybe,
used,
or
I mean,
just as
okay.
another thing, maybe it still has its original body or whatever, but it can shed its skin as sort of like a defense mechanism. So maybe it was like attacked or something like that, or overwhelmed and needed to get out of somewhere quickly. So it was able to like shed its skin and has to go into this pool of the subterranean blood or whatever to regenerate its flesh.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very much like Orochimaru from Naruto. It's very good. Like
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of the.
okay.
Yeah.
So, we've explained all the clues away. Now, looking at the resolve, you infiltrate its nest and then destroy it or convince it to leave London. You have to decide what you want to do. So, +2 on.
Can we decide when we get there?
Preferably. Well, you know what? Again, it's like, who am I to say?
We may want to try and convince
you may
it, but
have
then
a
it might attack us.
Right.
and
Well,
so
right. I mean, like you may
we'll have
take
to
a hard
destroy it.
left. You may take a hard left, like once Night Phase starts. So that wouldn't be a surprise. Never mind. Okay. So basically, you're rolling on this with +2. +2. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you got to decide whether you want to destroy it or convince it to leave.
All right.
Which probably
Elga,
will
since
change.
you're going, do you want to roll a d6?
Say again?
I said, do you want to roll it, Eligos, since we're
Oh, we're
going?
rolling our theorize.
2d6 +2, please.
Snake eyes.
You didn't.
Hey.
You didn't.
I did. Hang on. Let me
Hey.
show you. Can you see? Can you see? Yeah, there we go.
Love to see it. I love to see it. Love to see
Oh my
it.
god. So that's a
They're really
4.
good.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That was a lot of work for.
Absolutely blew it.
Can we bump it?
Sorry, y'all.
Can
Can
bump
bump
it?
it. You all
I'm
have
fine
to.
to bump it if everyone's okay with barking a mask.
Yes.
We have 4
Okay.
masks on the table, don't we? But
You
we
can-
can't use them all
Only
as
one.
No, because you
Yeah.
can only use. One person can use Mask of the Sun.
right.
And then everybody else has to pick out a
Oh.
Mask of the Past or Mask of the Future.
I'm gonna mark.
I'm down to
okay
mark.
with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
This is actually a net loss in masks gained for me because this unmarks 2 of my masks of the past.
Okay, so hold on a second. So okay, so Eligos, which mask are you doing?
I am marking the moss-covered gate, which allows me to unmark the first 2 boxes on my mask of the past.
Okay. All right. Goodness. All right. And then Mildred, which mask are you marking?
I'm gonna mark the blood-soaked portal.
Don't you fucking dare.
Just gonna go for it. No, I think I'm gonna mark the darkened
Come
threshold.
back as what? The mother? The Martian?
Yeah, I'll come back as Martian.
Oh.
Actually, I would love a vessel marking blood-soaked portal and then coming back as like.
Oh no, I have to at least give you guys the coven first before I go out.
But also too, I mean, like, Eligos, it's like, if Mildred goes
I
out,
know.
then you go out too.
I also have to go out.
Yes. Like, don't do that to me. Okay. All right. Smoke, what are you doing? Which mask?
Change it up.
Smoke,
I
do
don't.
the sun. Do the sun.
Oh, okay. You wanna do your mask? Cool. I'll do sun.
Okay, so that means everybody does it. Sun,
Woo!
sun,
So
sun.
many mask narrations.
Here it comes.
Many.
Okay, and Oda, which
But
mask?
we've gone 2 sessions without a
Mask
mask.
of the past.
Okay.
You're
Finally,
doing
we can
one?
see-
You're
we're
not
doing
gonna
a mask.
die?
Oh my god, that's great.
I'm excited to know about his history.
Damn straight. Okay, so because you gotta start with the first one. Oi. Okay. Let's get through this stuff. Okay. All right. Let's do Hargrave House real quick. All right. So Hargrave House. Pick one. Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I'm gonna mark Mask of the Sun. I'm gonna mark Muscovite Gate as well.
Well, I'm gonna go mark Damascus sign.
Wait.
Get out of here.
Yeah. That. Okay. That's fine. But oh goodness. Hold on.
That lets the Pinkerton come into play.
Oh, Christmas. All right. Hold on a second. I was not expecting that. Okay. Not today. Not to freaking day. No, I don't have that prepared.
We're giving you a lot of pieces.
Yes, there's a lot of
And
pieces.
This is what it is.
Not
This is-
expecting
that keep
them
it
Doesn't
alive.
the
come in.
threat? Doesn't every threat come into play the next morning though? So you have.
Yeah, it
time,
doesn't
right?
come. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
immediately come into play. It's just next
Right.
day phase.
Right. Oi. Okay. Yes.
We'll get through this night phase, Mads.
Yes. Well, because okay. All right. We'll get through this night phase for sure. Oi. Okay. Let's get through. Oh, this is gonna be a breakneck night phase. I tell you that right now. Okay. Let's do oh.
So wait, so we got what, like a 7 to 9 on the result then? Is
Yes.
that how that works? Okay.
7 to 9. So it's gonna be a struggle to
Struggle.
to resolve for sure. Okay. So let's do the gardens of Hargrave House. Being in this space is like being totally disconnected from the stink and grime of London. Each of you, is that reassuring to you, or does that make you feel uncomfortable, and why? Smoke.
I mean, for Mildred, it's pretty easy.
Okay, good.
Do you want Smoke to go first?
Yeah, I mean, Smoke, how do you feel about the gardens at Hargrave?
Smoke does not like them. I think they find it almost like the scent and this sort of like this manicuredness. They find it stifling. It reminds them of things they would rather not remember. So yeah, they're not fond of it. Would rather be more dusty or whatever and be more free in that sense.
Okay. Eligos?
Yes, it reminds me of my mother's garden.
Mildred?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy for her. She's probably the one taking care of it the most, and it reassures her. She is obviously someone who likes cleanliness and likes order, and so being able to tend to these flowers and these plants away, and like being able to get away from the chaos of the city is always nice.
And Lord Oda.
This garden is imperfect. I'm uncomfortable here because it's unlike my garden, a garden that's truly worthy of respect. This stinks of Mildred Bloom and her fragrances. All these plants are fragranted and scented, and it's a British garden to a very quintessential degree. You know, everything is just placed just so it looks almost naturalistic. Like, oh, this perfect arch of the tree boughs. You know, I can't stand it. If you're going to manicure a garden, make it obvious, right? Well, at least I take some of the my animals live here, right? And they appreciate some of the plants, except some of the plants are poisonous, so it's not exactly welcome entirely. So anyway, it reminds me of Mildred, and I guess she's one of the reasons why I came to Hargrave House in the first place, so I feel uncomfortable here.
Okie doke. All right. So, introduction of the Unscene. There is a brothel in Whitechapel, informally called the Bitter End, which, even by the standards of such disreputable places, is wholly wretched. A young nun, Sister Mary Edward Price, has taken upon herself to help the Enders, stopping by once a week to provide them with counseling and light medical services. Let's meet the residents of the Bitter End. This is found on row 11, should be, I think, the second one over. Okay? So, first prompt goes to Jack, second prompt goes to Eirinar, third prompt goes to Ben, and fourth prompt goes to Chris. All right. So, the Bitter End. Jack, Georgina, who is dying of consumption. How do we know Georgina is the most popular girl at the brothel?
We see in her room as she's laying on a bed covered in lush pillows and silk and duvets and down comforters, that this place, these items don't belong here. Everyone else's beds are probably more what's the word, Spartan, if you will. They're much more utilitarian. They're not as flowery or decorative as her room, but her vanity is covered in roses, these beautiful vases. But the reason that it seems that the other girls and clients at the house don't disturb her during these times is as she's laying on this bed, this lush, extravagant bed, she's coughing into a silk handkerchief. She pulls it away, and it's red, so it's hard to see the blood on there, but it's intentional. She wants to keep up appearances that she's in a state of good health, even though the other girls know and take pity on her in that way. But yeah.
Okay. All right, so just as a reminder, remember, this is your opportunity to get an echo in the night, which means like thematically, visually, sensually, trying to pair up, match up what's going on in this scene of the seedy underbelly of London with what's going on with the hunters cross town, having nothing to do with this particular Unscene. All right, but you still want to tie it together with this echo. All right, so let's go on to Smoke. You're feeling not well. And I think by this point, Mildred and Eligos have already gone off to where they're taking care of business. And you are feeling the effects of your curse. I think Lord Oda is here, and he's the only one here. What do you do?
I'm going to basically stumble out of my room and potentially stumble into Lord Oda. And
What do
I
you look
think
like?
I think at this point there are these sort of spikes. I want to say, like, not spikes, spines. Is that something like that? Like this sort of like blade-like things that are kind of starting to sprout out of both my hands and my back. So I'm gonna sort of lean over and clutch the closest thing I see, which could be Lord Oda if Lord Oda is okay with it.
Yeah.
And as I do so, like I probably scratch him a little bit in the process as well, because yeah.
Oh my gosh. So are we in a
Like
hallway?
yeah, Smoke is just groaning. No actual words were said.
Yeah. Such. We see Lord Oda step back, and look at Smoke for the first time, almost as if it's for the first time, and appraising them. And he says, "Oh, I didn't know. Poor beast." and like he sees you like gurgling, like trying to speak, and Lord Oda wipes at the wound that is immediately, there's like a golden glow as it starts to heal. And he sighs and breathes. And he says, I know just where to bring you. Come, my child. I will keep you safe for the evening. And like he, from behind him, he pulls out just like a fresh, like, I don't know, like what they would feed lions at a zoo as treats, right? These flesh morsels. And he like pops them on the ground, trying to have you come hither. And he says, come here, child.
I
Leading
think
up to
Smoke.
his room. Yeah.
I think Smoke is going to, like, at this point, Smoke has doubled over, and like their face probably doesn't look very familiar, and they're more of these sort of almost blade-like spiky things coming out of their back, and they're like on their on the on fours instead of like on their legs, so they're gonna almost skitter but not quite across up to Lord Oda's room.
All right. We're going to cut away and go over to Mildred and Eligos. So you've gone to find these tunnels, I believe? You
Yes.
suspect underneath
Yes.
the British Museum. Okay.
Yes, we head over there.
Okay. So I think you find the tunnels and you will see, like, they'll start to break away from maybe behind a wall or the access point. You'll see the symbol or the symbols, like one of the letter that was on Mildred's back, or maybe like a depiction of the Roman phalanx on the walls leading in. So you know you're on the right track. What do you do?
Eligos, I can bring it to us, but doing so will force me to commit myself entirely to the ritual. Do you think you can take care of this creature?
We've come prepared, my lady. We'll be fine.
If it at all possible, send it on its way peacefully. But if peace is not an option, do what you must. And with that,
Very
I'm
well.
going to go ahead. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and do a rite of salt and smoke to try and essentially trap the creature here with us.
Roll with
You're muted,
sensitivity.
Vance.
Yep. Roll with sensitivity. What do you offer?
That is an 11 plus 3. That's 14, baby. And so,
Magic works
yeah,
without
I think,
cost. Yep. Choose your
yeah, I think
effect.
she settles in into position in the like entrance of this chamber that the vampire resides in, and she just simply takes out a small blade and begins to drag it across both palms, reciting this chant. And she's sort of just uses the blood to create a circle around herself to not only protect her, but to also lure the creature to the vampire in, given that, it's got a bloodlust.
All right. Cutting away, back to the Unscene. Eirinar. Nanette, sweet-natured and petite. How do we know Nanette is doing this because she has no other choice?
I think like in her sort of one of her drawers, hidden towards the back, so that like there are any clients don't see it. There is like tucked away this small picture frame of like what appears to be Nanette and like two younger looking children, like potentially siblings or maybe nieces or nephews or kids, whatever. um and well, in the picture they look happy, but they all look relatively impoverished. So yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. And then back to Smoke and Lord Oda. So, you're in Lord Oda's room. Room or like all the way to the gardens now? Where are you?
Yeah, I think Lord Oda leads this creature that's like coming out, like bursting out of the the house guest in a way he once knew. And he says, as he leads it through the door into his room, where you can hear in the distance the calls of many animals, and he beckons it into this warm escape. He says, "You know, you look much more beautiful in many ways now than you do as a human. You needn't hide with me. We're going to a place with many beasts, and you'll just be one amongst many, at least for tonight." What do you do, Eirinar?
So how much control do I have over stuff? I actually don't know how the move sort of works. Like how, or rather, not how much control do I have over the narrative, but how much control does Smoke have over the thing? Is that something that's determined, or?
I mean, you're going through your curse right now. I mean, you're suffering the effects of the curse. You are transforming. So, I mean,
Hmm.
you know, this is Lord Oda helping you keep it tamped down enough that you are not turning into the cursed, but you
Okay.
are suffering the effects of the curse.
Okay. So, uh, I think what going to try to do is I'm going to try to skitter up, uh, to Lord Oda, and almost like if he's facing away from him, like I am going to almost be a little bit semi on his back at this
Yeah, so
point.
you like overwhelm me basically and like
Yeah.
crawl onto my body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's when Lord Oda pauses, like the doors open, we hear these screechings and the songs of birds within. And he says, um, he's, he doesn't know quite what to do because nothing has been so close to him, a beast that he could never not control directly. And so what he does what he thinks is best in this situation. He begins to sing. He says, "It rained and poured for 40 days. Almost drove those animals crazy. The sun came out and dried the land, and everything was to plan. The animals, they came two by two. Elephants, kangaroos, and like you, more odd ones too. So just come with me a little more northly, and we will go to London Zoo." Um, and he tries to smile his best, uh, the most beloved smile, and gestures to the door where the animals are calling. He says,
I think Smoke is going to be a little like, as you start singing, this was not a reaction they slash it question mark expected at this point, because usually when they start to transform, most people, you know, not only run in the opposite direction, but even those who might try to help them are like not calming in this same way. So I think they're gonna like calm down a little and like sort of detangle from your back. You probably have like little blade scars on your back already, but they're going to sort of curiously look towards uh, the the thing that the animal sounds are coming from, that area, and just sort of wait for you to um, maybe like, are you inside the room, or
Oh, I
like?
thought I was. Yeah, I thought I was. You know, under your
Yes,
privileged
but like,
form.
are the both of us inside the room? That was the.
Yeah, so I'm trying to lead you to the room, which is London Zoo, where you could be, at least feel more at home.
Oh, you were literally taking me to London Zoo. Okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
some magic Lord Oda thing. I don't know. I thought he had like a pet menagerie somewhere in Hargrave House. It sounds like a Lord
This is
Oda
the
thing.
second time the animals of London Zoo have come at his beck and call. So
Yeah.
who's
Watch the
to
last
say,
episode.
really?
Yeah, pretty much. Ugh. All right.
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna-
then I'm just going to like look around at the animals around.
I
So-
gesture to the opening. I gesture to the opening of the room, which is like kind of like a magical door.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Smoke's going to step in. Well, actually, Smoke's going to wait for you to step in. That's the.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to crawl out from under you, right? And it's like this is like the most like almost the most disheveled we've seen on the show, right? Like, he, and he's just quite surprised and charmed in a lot of ways. And as he's backing up, he says, "Why, you are a beautiful beast. I would love to see you fully transformed."
we're gonna cut away at that point. Goodness. All right. All right. So, Mildred.
Anyway,
and,
killing a vampire.
yeah, Mildred and Eligos. So, Mildred, you got. You definitely succeeded with a 14. Um, trying to understand, like, you know, what it says about the cosmic passage, and I'm not sure because
I can't take that on anyway because my score is already improved. Or
Exactly.
my score is already maxed out at 3.
exactly. So that's fine. But
but-
basically, your magic works without further cost. So pick an effect.
Yeah. So the ring of blood is now around her, and she starts to sort of float off the ground. And as she does, from the ring of blood starts to sprout these roses that are made of blood, and the petals open up, and they start to whisper this ancient Roman language that Saul Invictus would know, and they start to beckon him. So between the beckoning whispers and the scent of blood, she's trying to draw it out and then trap him with us.
Okay. And Eligos, are you within this circle of roses, or are you outside waiting to do something?
That is a good question. How big is the circle?
I'll say it's up to you. If you want it to be big, you can be in it. If not, just be in it.
I mean, as much as I'm not itching for a fight, I do think. No, I'll be outside. Wait, is Mildred in the circle?
Yeah, she's in the center of it.
Oh, then I'm in the circle.
Okay. The reason I ask is because as you create these blood roses, I think you hear this rushing sound around you, and you can see outside of your circle, you can see the swirling of blood. It's not the blood that you have garnered from yourself. It's a different volume, it's a different color, it's a different shape even, and it starts to form within your circle of blood roses, and it forms around and in front of you into this humanoid form. It varies from child size to adult size, and it kind of varies, and it's like kind of like washes as if it's like trying to decide what it is. And then the amorphous mouth that drips this blood is saying, "What do you do here? How dare you call me?"
This is your one opportunity to leave. You are not from here. You do not belong here. Leave this place and go. If not, you will suffer consequences.
You dare to order me? You are protected, witch, but not your servant. Night move, Eligos.
Have at me, I say, brandishing my harpoon gun.
Night move with sensitivity. This is full-on God. Solon Invictus. So, what do you think will go wrong?
I mean, I'll be burned.
It's worse than that. Solon Invictus will invade you from the inside and then tear you apart, blood cell by blood cell, and Mildred will watch you die.
Can't be having that then.
Roll with sensitivity.
Oh fuck! Wait, do I have sensitivity? No, I think I left that for Mildred. Yep, flat roll. Dice don't fail me now. That's an 11.
Okay. So, Eligos, tell me how you resist Solon Invictus's intention to tear you apart from the inside. What does this look like as he tries to enter your body?
As much as I want to work a little bit of magic, I don't know that I can.
But would you say you are partially magic?
Yeah, no, okay, so I think what I'm doing is I'm forced to change shape a little bit.
Okay. What do you change to?
He can't. Well, he can't boil my blood if I don't have any. So I think I turn myself partially to stone.
Nice. And he is frustrated, and he says, "What is this? Not human." And then he tries to reach out to you, Mildred. You have him in this place, but this is definitely night move for you as well. So,
Party.
sensitivity.
I'm afraid that it's going to invade my body.
Yeah.
The parasite that it is.
Yeah.
Should get in fucking line.
Yeah. And basically, I mean, well, actually, you know what? Because of your control of the blood, I think Solon Invictus is pretty much going to not only enjoy controlling the blood to have at Eligos again, but then he's going to tear you apart from the inside and let Eligos watch you die.
Party. Am I rolling at a disadvantage because I'm doing the ritual?
Yes, I'm gonna call that for sure. And then
Party.
yeah. I mean, unless you have something in your personal quarters.
That's a 4. That's a 4 total on 3 dice.
Oof!
Wait. So,
Madam.
so what?
I love that. So I'm gonna mark a mask so I don't die.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
I'm assuming Mask of the Past since you've marked Sun. Is this where you're going to be marking Darkened Threshold now?
Yeah, marking Darkened Threshold.
Okay, so you will be marking that. Okay. Darkened Threshold.
The
Okay.
coven is in play.
Oh my
Not
God,
yet.
no. Shh.
Oh, no.
Okay, come on. All right, so back to this exciting scene. All right.
Do you want to go to the Unseen first?
I am going to the Unseen. Yes, so 7 to 9. Okay. Ben, Candace, whose 3 children live with her in the brothel. In what ways has Candace tried to create a normal life for them here?
One of them has a cat named Stone. another has a parakeet named Rose, and the other has a dog named Spider, or Spiny actually. That's the and they enjoy their animals.
Okay. Back to Smoke and Lord Oda. All right, so I'm going to assume right now you're in the room. You're in the London Zoo in I guess a particular corner that maybe Lord Oda like knows about or whatever. And so yeah, what happens now? I mean, are you trying to put Smoke in a cage? Or are you trying to just kind of comfort Smoke in your arms? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think we are in like the insect house, and you hear that like the cicadas and the creepy crawlies all around this like giant wait, safety. Okay, so and there's a giant dome where you can see hundreds and hundreds of thousands of insects all above, right? And we come through a door just below this. It's just this beautiful scene, and Lord Oda is there, and he says, "This is a place where you can be safe this evening. No one's here. No one will judge you. I love the way you look. In fact, most people who see me think that I look human too, but I'm not. Not in the same way. Just like you. And humanity is terrible. It destroys this planet. It's ugly. It reflects certain creators' intentions. But you are a mistake. You are a beautiful experiment, something that escaped all intention when created. Something caught in between the cracks. Something beautiful. You know, in Japan, we have a beautiful art where when a vase is cracked, you can seal it with gold. And you are that gold, that crack between something and something else. Smoke. I invite you to stay here this evening, but I also invite you to stay the creature that you are. You are worthy just as you are. And I don't say this to most, but I do love you just the way you are.
I think at this smoke creature or half smoke creature is going to um is there I'm gonna say there's soil beneath us to some extent, and they're gonna like sort of almost curl up, not onto Oda exactly, but right next to Oda, almost like a safety thing. And safety in both ways of like if something in the night stirs towards Oda, they will be able to um, catch it, but also because they feel safe around Oda. At this point, at least, who knows what will happen come morning. But and also as they're sort of digging themselves at a small little kind of mound to sleep in, uh, I'm gonna say they find this old, maybe sort of potentially dropped a long time ago. There's this small dropped like uh an old faded picture that someone must have dropped onto the ground, and they don't pay too much attention, so it's like almost torn up between their uh what is it called, between their claws and their their frantic digging. But yeah, they're gonna dig up a small hole and just kind of curl up next to Oda.
Okay, let's head over back to the museum. So, Mildred, you got bumped it up to a 7 to 9.
Yep.
Tell me how Sol Invictus does not get inside, but still extracts some kind of price for you to keep him out, or keep them out.
So the blood flowers, they're doing their thing. But I think once she's inside, I think there isn't a moment where he leaps onto her and digs into her neck and begins to drain the blood from it. But he recoils and like almost thrusts himself off of her, and he spits the blood out. And I think he realizes that the blood belongs to someone else, and that someone else is much more powerful than him.
What is this? I'm cheated. You are not of human blood. What is this? And tell me how you capture or dispel Sol Invictus from this plane.
I am human. It's much more complicated than that, but we have no time. And she'll flick her wrists, and the blood roses will then suddenly turn into these sort of blood vines that like stretch out and restrain the creature. Eligos, do it now. Finish this.
Point, shoot, done. Wrought iron harpoon through the heart.
I'm not gonna have you do a roll for this. Tell me what it looks like as he sinks or dissipates or leaves this plane, Eligos.
It's very bright, very loud, and ultimately it looks like he doesn't cut and bleed like a person. He cracks like a statue, or like a cicada, and just bursts out in what looks like blood, but you really can't get a good enough look at it as it all boils away, each bubble popping in a blinding flash of light.
Let's round out the unseen. Chris, Mabel, who's got a bit long in the tooth. What does Mabel try to do to keep up with the younger girls?
I think we see Mabel dolled up in too much makeup, sitting there in as close to a flattering dress as she can make it, but stripes can only do so much. And she has a glass of plain water and drops a sort of tablet into it. And for a moment we can just see the bubbles and the light catching them, hear the sounds of the sea, and she downs it and goes on her way, pupils dilated.
All right. So, Smoke, Lord Oda, tell me how this night ends.
I think we're making out.
See, if you told me like before, I would have marked my dawn question, which has something to do with the sexual encounter, but I don't have that. So no. Oh my god, that is the most Lord Oda answer I've heard to anything. I think we're making out.
So immediate.
That's great. I mean, if you want to end that way, sure, I guess. Because I need to flip over to the museum.
Yeah, but it's kind of horrifying because it starts out as this creature that's like slapped onto my face, and it slowly turns into a person. And at the end, Lord Oda is just like a little disappointed and sighs and walks away.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Okay, we're gonna be cutting away to the museum now. Thank you. Eligos, Mildred, tell me how this ends tonight after Sol Invictus dissolves, dissipates, leaves this plane.
I think there's that that final burst of sunlight, and like every other time Mildred has done one of these elaborate rituals, I think she just sort of falls to the ground. All the blood flowers or blood vines at this point just fall to the ground as well and just seep into the earth, and she just lays there.
Eligos will sweep her up and carry her in his arms. That's good. Rest well. We've done good work tonight. And carry her home.
And so we reach the dawn. All right. Let's take it from the beginning. So, Smoke. Why can't I get to that part of the sheet? All right, here we go. Did the hunters answer a question? Yes. Did you resolve a threat? Yes. So mark that off. Did you experience an echo in the night?
I am I am not the best at that, but I think I did. I was trying to, at least, for the whole a small picture that was tucked away somewhere kind of thing.
But I mean, specifically, do you recall, who's...
Huh? No, I did, right? So Nanette's thing was, she had got a picture that was tucked away in a corner.
Don't recall who... Oh, never mind. It was the first one, right? It was with the
yeah.
popular girl?
Second one.
Got it. Okay.
No, it was this, but yeah, okay.
All right, so you get that one. And then, did you stick out in London society for all the wrong reasons?
Not really. I don't think so, no.
No. Did you use violence to solve a problem?
For once, no.
Yeah, so, okay, you only got the 3. Sorry. Okay, Eligos. You answered a question, you resolved a threat.
Yep.
I heard that echo. That was, loud and clear. So, yes, you got it. Did you engage in a petty reprisal of someone who angered your employer?
I mean, if you count shooting in the heart as petty.
Not petty.
No, I don't think so.
It works for me.
I mean,
Of course
listen.
Oh, that kills me.
I reiterate that Mildred is just too nice.
Yeah. It's it's not really a petty reprisal when you shoot them through the heart.
No, it's really not.
No, I'm sorry.
Maybe if you said something petty while you did it. But,
yeah, right? Yeah, that would have done it. Did you demonstrate obsequious behavior towards your employer in front of others?
I'm going to switch for the private life one because I've been doing that a lot and I just didn't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4 because you definitely showed obsequious behavior. All right, so I should be marked 2 and I get an advance. Yep. Okay. Lord Oda, you answered a question. You resolved a threat. I definitely heard an echo in the night. Thank goodness. Jeez. Did you secretly show a vulnerable side to someone? Oh yeah, for sure. Did you create an ornate over-the-top run experience? Yes, going to hell, I guess. Sure. Also, making out in the London Zoo. Yeah. Insectodome. Wow. Okay, so you get all those. All right. And then Mildred answered a question, resolved a threat. Echo in the night. I think I heard at least one.
The roses.
Yes.
Were the echo.
For sure. Did you have a face-to-face encounter with a dark entity? Oh yeah. And did you perform a ritual? For sure. So all 5 points.
Did you want me to take in condition? Because I only did the 7 to 9.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and Blood bloom. That's your condition. Ooh. Yeah. Kind of had that one on the mind from all that, from the whole ritual, from dealing with Sol Invictus. I mean, that was all there, for sure. Mm-hmm. All right. Stars and Wishes. Again, everybody did a fantastic job with the role play, the narrations. I mean, not that there's any wasted words per se, but I mean, I think you you guys really respected the timing and the pacing that I was trying to achieve, and thank you for helping me with that, because I mean, like, you know, it was nice to be able to get through yet another session, another full cycle, and hey, we got another friend in there, so that's awesome. And I mean, I will try to remember to put in all the specifics, but I mean, like, so many great images. Again, great images, great like sensual details for this particular session, and I appreciate you all very much for you know, just running with it. I mean, even the vulnerable moves were fun. So I mean, holy cow! And Lord Oda, tenderness, holy, nobody would have suspected. I'm serious. I mean, like, you know, that was brilliant with smoke. So. Go for it. Whoever wants to go next.
Okay, stars to Eirinar for taking not one but two failed rolls by choice this session, because both of them were spectacular. Corollary stars to Lord Oda for that entire scene with smoke. It was so good and so funny and so tender and bizarre in a way that, like, it's a delicate balance, and you absolutely nailed it. Stars to Jack for everything Mildred does. I just love this character. Sorry. But especially I loved that moment that we had where we were both like, where solid victims, just like, both of us aren't human. I'm gonna have a lot of fun unpacking that with you. This was a great session for our shared backstory, and stars to Mads for that.
Yes, similarly, star to Eirinar for being down for that vulnerable move. I didn't know how it was gonna, like, I wasn't sure at first when I started how it would be able to help clear battered and bruised, but I think that, like, the back rub is sort of like this, like, humanizing moment for maybe both of them, certainly for Mildred, but like a way for them to like connect and like be vulnerable per the move. Star for my dear sweet Eligos. I was not expecting the whole magic to come into it, so I'm really excited to, and this is also a wish, but I'm really excited to see how that plays out, and I want to know more about him as it relates to himself, but also how it relates to Mildred. Ben, you always have like wacky ideas, and I mean that in the best way possible. I love that it's just like, I want to have a vulnerable move scene in hell, and because of the playbook, can do it. And so you take things to 11, and Star for Mads for being able to deal with that, because I know it's not for a lesser handler, I think they would get overwhelmed easily by people who were creative, like the table that you have now. And so I think that I want to give you a star for being able to weather whatever crazy ideas we have and, you know, run with them.
I think this was a really great session for like seeing people's true character, you know, like for example, like just seeing Mildred like just be so awesome, and she's like really like she's doing her moves right. You're really playing her well, and showing her like how, in what way is she a vessel. It's really beautiful, Jack. It was great to see, like, hear references to Eligos's history, like his mother's garden, right? I'm like, ooh, backstory, right? Eirinar, she's like Eirinar's like she's embraces Smoke's like really bestial nature, which is great. Love to see it. Yeah, it was like I think everyone was like, we've gotten to a point where we're kind of feeling out our characters, and they're singing in harmony, right? And Mads, you're conducting it, and it's great. Thank you for so much. And my hopes is that we can end on time next time. Anyway. Anyway, I hope you have a great week, everyone.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah.
Take care.
Stars for, I mean, yeah, no, this was a great session. Like, pretty much all the interactions were kind of amazing. Like, both the vulnerable moves that we started off with and the night phase things where we got like the other pairings basically. It was just nice. I am a fan of like Smoke and Oda interactions because they're always just so weird.
You're so unhinged.
Yeah. I was yeah, stars for like Mads for like letting us do all the crazy stuff and also like giving us all the crazy stuff to do. Uh and yeah, stars for Ben for the amazing Lord Oda, like being up for being the person who Lord Oda has, who Smoke has to sort of ask for help from. And I really did love the session, the scene with Mildred and Eligos. Also, this the vulnerable move session with Mildred, and Mildred being also like a little more open than usual. So yeah, it was just all around a lot of, got to see all these sides to people, and that was just nice. Wishes, I really wish I could have found a way to like drag a knife down a curtain in the West End Wraith, but such is life. Next time we have a threat with a curtain involved, I shall be dragging a knife down it.
Well, actually, I mean that's not resolved yet anyway. So I mean, like you still may get to do that. Who knows? And I just realized that I am a dork, and I totally forgot. Well, actually, here's what I suspected. I thought that you guys were going to do West End Wraith. You didn't, because that's the rewards that I had clipped. I did not clip Limehouse Lurker. So we will go over rewards next time. But just so you know, it's like Jenny Johnston becomes a recurring side character. The Man in the Sun Mask becomes a recurring side character. The Vampire becomes a recurring side character if you made friends, but obviously you didn't, so that's out there. A memento.
Those are all the same guy and dead.
Yeah. A memento from the investigation, and then another memento from the investigation. So I will clip that, put that in the private chat, and then you guys can decide amongst yourselves who gets what. All right. But yeah. What's this? Extra wish. I welcome hard moves during the day. You do not even need a die roll to introduce dangers that threaten us. True. Very true. But
also, other wish is to see how the Pinkerton plays out now that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh, right.
That is squared on my list of things that need to get done for next time. Ooh, yes.
Oh God, I can't wait to do Eligos's American accent.
Oh. Goodness.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be fun. So thank you guys so much for staying a little over and being able to stars and wishes each other, because I mean it's a great part of the session for sure. And yeah, I mean I can't wait to hear these masks next week, as well as introduce the Pinkerton and then all the other stuff that has to happen. So you guys have a wonderful week if I don't already see you for yet another game somewhere. And yeah. Have a wonderful time, okay?
Good night.
Bye, guys. Good night.